this, but you've mentioned Cockers there, and obviously there was a bit at risk of us actually talking about rugby on this podcast. God forbid, as I keep peddling, it's not a rugby podcast. There's all sports here. Check the archives, go to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, all that. I know people are listening, do it. Yeah, we go in. But you had Cockers, and obviously he left with quite a bit of, there was a sort of cloud in the air as to why he actually left, because it seemed quite sudden for everyone. But, and you spoke of it there, it was a grueling feat. But like you said, Edinburgh rugby got better as a whole. Like, as much as we love the attack in rugby Mike Blair has brought to Edinburgh, but now he's probably going to stay more focused on as an attack coach. How was it with Cockers? Was it as grueling as we sort of heard from the outside?
It was, yeah. There's one time Cockers, I think we were away on summer break, and Cockers all summer had just been watching CrossFit videos on Netflix. We obviously brought some into Edinburgh, and he thought of a challenge called Compete to Win.
Nice.
So he started with the backs. It was myself and Christine who were the guinea pigs of that Compete to Win challenge. So essentially there was 2 assault bikes under the goalposts, and then 2 rowing machines on halfway. So you had to assault bike for 0.2 of a mile, try and sprint to halfway, but you kind of waddled. I think you rode 500 meters, and you did that 3 times. So
just as fast as you can, no system to it, just
fast
go.
As you can. Whole squad watching, and Cocker said, right, if you think George is going to win, stand on his side. If you think Chris is going to win, stand on his side. So quite luckily for both of us, it was pretty split.
I was going to say, that'd be humiliating if everybody went straight to one side. You'd be like, all right.
And Dino actually ended up winning by about 1 meter or 2 meters, and we were both absolutely ruined. Dino basically collapsed in the shower, and I was on the physio bed on oxygen. So that probably tells you how horrendous it was. So he did tail it back from then, because it was the first one he had tried, and we both just knocked a pan in, and we were ruined for the rest of the day.
That's the problem. I know the exact videos he's watched, because I've recently joined the CrossFit. We were speaking before we came on air. Pudgy Sam was doing season 3, episode 1 of this podcast, and I didn't realize there's such an art to making those workouts. Like you said, we just see them and we just think that person's just said, I'm going to try and murder this person through the medium of fitness, and then I'll throw in Olympic lifting somewhere in the middle just for a bit of fun. But there's such an art to it, and you see the person who runs the gym I go to, she was talking to me about them, and she's like, the idea is to find the muscle that you don't think you're working in a workout, and they keep doing it. So it's you'll keep seeing we're gonna do handstand push-ups and we're gonna do burpees and something like that. But then what you don't realize, by the time you've got to set 5, your forearms and triceps are absolutely butters, because you've been pushing yourself in the burpees as well, and you'll just go down for 1 and you're like, I just can't get back up. I physically can't push myself off the ground. But I can't believe
you should. As my missus, she started at a kind of more CrossFit gym, and they do hit and fit and conditioning sessions. And she's like, "Oh, you should come to the session." And I've just been putting it off for the last 2 or 3 months, because that sort of we did a bit of that, but I'm more kind of running fitness, and I'm not kind of full body fitness. I will do it eventually, but I'm building a baseline for my gym at the minute, so I'm saying I'm too busy to do that.
Well, mate, as we're going to come on to later, you and Bennett know your own thing about fitness, so I'll take your word for it right now. If you tell me I don't need to do burpees, I'm taking that as law. But so back to the Cockers thing. Obviously, you've just come off oxygen. How was it then when he left? And obviously, there was that sort of where it was very much. It seemed to us like it was very much a focus on, this is where we are when I arrive. I am making sure we are at least here when we leave. And then obviously when Mike came in, it was all jouet. It's nothing but miss 4s, and if anybody can throw it through the legs out the back, that's what we're trying. How was that transition when it became so much more of an attacking focused brand of rugby?
Yeah, it was different, and I think it was probably a big weight off people's shoulders, because obviously Cockers had his game plan, and it worked to a certain extent. But then Mike comes in, and he's very good at using the ability that's on the pitch, you know. So a lot of people maybe didn't manage to express themselves under other coaches, and Mike's come in and he's given you license to use your skills and express yourself that a bit extra. I unfortunately never managed to play under Mike Blair, but certainly in pre-season and stuff, he was all for letting you be a bit more creative.
No, yeah, I meant exactly that when you came through, just how that change in the atmosphere felt, because like you said, it was very much towards the main sort of focal point of this podcast when that happened. But like, could you just feel the changing room sort of not relax, because it wasn't the case like that, but it just felt like there was a difference in the air in that preseason.
Yeah, it did. I think part of it was, you know, no one really knew what was happening. It then turned out that Cockers had left mutual agreement, and I think everyone would agree with me. It was the right time. You know, he'd served his 4 years. He did very well for the club, but it was time for someone else to come in. And I think the mood in the change room probably did lift. You know, I think it happens anywhere. It's a change of, you know, atmosphere. Someone else coming in. It's a clean slate. So I think, and also people knew Mike previously, you know, helping out in Scotland squads, so they knew what he was like. He was great with the guys, great with the players. So it was that kind of clean slate and a bit, yeah, the mood had been lifted, definitely.
Hey, thank you for listening to this Clips episode on YouTube. And then if you want to hear the whole podcast, you can find them on Apple or Spotify, as well as the full video version on this YouTube channel, alongside all the other great content we produce on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again on another Clips episode or in the full episode podcast. Tweet us, tag us, let us know what you thought. All the links are down in the description. It means the world that you guys come and support us, so thank you very much.